Forgot to turn on the mic. Hello, welcome, met. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, and today I am playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are on the last episode. That's why Ryunosuke's in the thumbnail. Excuse me. I almost said thumb title. That does not make it. I mean, he's in the thumbnail and the title, so, like, I mean, his name is, so it kind of makes sense, but also it don't. Anyway. Alright, oh, hello Margaret, hello Grandma Iris, welcome. Welcome to anybody else that swung by. Let's jump into the game. I need to click this. Sometimes I forget what I need to click. I did not start it up because it's probably gonna have an intro movie, maybe. I don't remember. I know this one's a little different from other ones, but yeah, so... See. We get to hear the cool title music. Doop, doop, doop. Okay. I'm absolutely 100% getting distracted with the music in this game. Final chapter. The Resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, we're just right into it. No opening movie. Just right into it. We haven't had that since... Well, I don't think we had that with the tutorial ones. But yeah, like, this is unusual. It just cold open. Title drop. Let's go. You know it's serious. We're getting into the first bit of trial, which is actually, what? Is it? Oh yeah, this is day 2 of the trial, because episode 9 and 10 are broken up of the same story. Case, trial, incident, whatever. It does cover 2 things ultimately, but anyway, moving on. So, the time's finally come. Today, we unravel everything. Oh. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Musuzato. She's so sad! Oh right, she didn't get to ask her dad about what was going on, so she's still probably troubled by it. Suzato clapped hands in front of face. Focus, girly. You just keep moving on. Oh, it's exciting! Miss Suzato. Ah! Oh. Oh no! What's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Nothing. I was just saying that I'll be relying on your support today. But... I'm so sorry, of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but... I shan't let you down. Would you mind helping me to my feet, then? Oh dear, I'm really very sorry. I like the dramatic music, and here's Suzato just flipping Ryunosuke over her shoulder because she got startled. Never change, Ace Attorney. Never change. Suzato-san isn't her usual self at all. But that's hardly surprising, I suppose. She's just found out that her father is the partner of a world-famous detective. Not to mention... Ah! Good morning, sir! Yep, it's Parag. Hi! You're in a whole big mess, and I can assure you, Lord Van Zeeks, you're gonna hate this so much. More than any other trial, he's gonna hate this episode more than anything of any other person. Anyway, less of me just foreshadowing? Is it foreshadowing? Hinting? I think hinting's a better word. Anyway. Lord Van Zeeks. Hello, how are you? Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. Oh, did I hear that correctly? What? Oh! No, nothing. Just, I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruhodo. Good point. The Reaper. I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Van Zeeks is also appealing. Grandma Iris is not gonna let up. I know how much she dislikes this man. Oh god. Doing all the voices already. It's gotten warmer where I am today, and it's like... I should have been drinking more, apparently. Got some cold water, though. So that's okay. Just need a second to get a few gulps down. Oop, okay, I'm gonna nearly push my mic off my desk. Good job, me. I didn't actually, though. Okay. Huh? It was my tact. Wait. Okay, it was my tact acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend led to all this. But you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Zeets. It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, not sure that was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. Oh. Having been slain by that evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod. I'd say psychopomp. But to each their own. Wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not. Yes, I heard that story too. And I lost him. Oop. Hi, Clint. Felt as though I'd lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. This man needs a hug. Everybody in this game needs like a therapist, I swear. Even if I knew it was just an illusion, some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public. He was obviously extremely important to you. Lord Clint Van Zeets. Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life. He's surprised by that? Really, at this point? Or is he just surprised Ryunosuke is saying it again? And I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. Why are you nodding your head at that? I never thought I'd say this. I can see it in your eyes. A burning desire to cut through all lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. He's so grumpy. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Oh, hi Iris. She is here. Oh, Iris. When did you get here? Oh, I brought you one of my special blends. Hurley loves it. He says it helps him... he says it helps him to clear his head. I thank you. Oh! That's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. Maybe. You seem different today, Iris. Oh? Sort of subdued, I suppose. I am not. What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Sith's laboratory. Alright then. Good luck to you both. I have to make a move now. Oh, you're not staying. I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings. Well, I'd like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready. Get ready? For what? Oh, yes! Would you take this? Isn't that one of the little felt dolls that's usually dangling from your knapsack? Yes! It's a lucky charm. A little Hurley I made once. A Hurley? It looks more like a Hurley to me. If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just pull on this little Hurley's ears. As hard as you possibly can. What? Pull on his ears? That's right! It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it. Iris is like, charm acquired. You think what we'll need is luck? I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom. And it seems very different to normal. Yes, it would seem that a certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. What does that mean? It means I'm gonna have to do an annoying voice, that's what it means! What about Mr. Shlom's, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night and he hadn't come home by the time I left this morning. Oh, I see. Was Professor Mikotoba out all night too, do you think, Miss Tusato? Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all. They? Father and Judge Jigoku, I mean. Judge Jigoku too? That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once. Good luck then, Bruno. Good luck, Susie. Yes, thanks, Iris. And you, Mr. Reaver. I hope it goes well. Once again, thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing. Oh, I'm so glad. We must go inside now, Lord Van Zieks. A non-sec- just a from Van Zieks. That's actually rather unusual for him, to be honest. Lord Van Zieks has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend, Kazuma Osogi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. Man, they are zhooshing this up. I have been too, though. I forgot how intense this is. It's not gonna get any better. It's not gonna get any better. Old Bailey courtroom. Oh, it is quiet. It feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. There are cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides today. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo, look! Strongheart. Lord Strongheart? Hi, Kazuma. Kazuma must have known beforehand. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal system. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth of these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. By royal decree, it will continue to be a closed trial, and one over which I, Male Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. Ow. Fire! The fire is back. The 6 jurors' prelims just... As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other... oh gosh. How did I do Van Steeps' voice? Okay. In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart. Switching through the voice is gonna be a pain in the butt! On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Van Zeeks. You were a prosecutor of excellent talent. Much like your brother Clint, in fact. Oh, gosh. I forgot he did that. I have seen this man for, like, what? 2 minutes? A minute? Very short amount of time, and I want to punch him. I can't express my dislike of this man. It's not the greatest of dislikes I've had in my life, but it's up there. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. Maybe I should put a little more venom into the voice. For the trial of Barack Van Zeeks, who officially stands accused of murder. I think we're getting another new song. Counsels for the prosecution and defense. Are you in full readiness to proceed? Defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. In those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice, Mr. Dally Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification, and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work when he in fact wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself, as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaged as chief warder at Barclay Prison, he abated the convict's escape. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Sinners. He's recovered enough to give a signed testament about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating the Red-Headed League. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had not been wound. Prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Osogi. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed that the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on 31st October, the day before his body was discovered. I have here an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. The official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday that the time of death was 5 p.m. on 1st November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. Court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident. It would, yes. Especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. I sense that the prosecution has information regarding those activities. Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. New information? I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So the prosecution calls its first witness now. Cutting off the circulation to my foot, oh my gosh. Ah. State your name and occupation for the court. Inspector Gina Lestrade reporting. Reaper... Wait. Oh, Repper. She should probably say represent. Yeah, represented. Okay. Inspector Gina Lestrade reporting representative of Scotland Yard. A self-conferred rank, but never mind. Gina? Again? What's your problem, Odo? What's with that Gina again look, eh? Ah! The boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did. Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean? He got me out of the back slums of the East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him. Oh, Gina. Right. All out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not at all that he had his arm twisted by Mr. Sholmes. No. Okay, I also realized I kind of need to move the chat box. Put it up here. Oh gosh, all these voices. I was like, right, Strongheart's gonna be here. This is gonna be murder on my voice. I'll probably have to take like a small break at some point to flip my water again. The amount of water I'm going to need to sip on for this, because seriously, I hate all the voices. They're all dudes. Why can't we have more female characters? Okay. What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. At this, what Strongheart knew. Dang, Ryunosuke's observant. I think we were told that in the very first episode, but still, sometimes I forget just how observant the little guy is. I say little, but he's probably... Is he taller than me? I actually have no idea how tall Ryunosuke is in relation to my height. At least not off the top of my head. Anyway. So, Inspector Lestrade. Let's hear exactly what it says in that report. Coming right up, sir. Not doing Tina's voice very well. Oh well. Victims' motives. All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had loads of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggling goods dealings that day. Looks like it was a... Oops, excuse me. It looks like it was a big job and all. The coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is, there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too. And Zeeks. Smuggled goods? I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book. Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines, goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they're disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. The police are rarely able to locate them in time. Though Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets. It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activities. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigations being leaked to the involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority, without the Yard's knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentlemen's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter. Gansby, I haven't heard anything about any of this. You have... You need to ask Barack more questions. He doesn't give info all that willingly in this prompt. Members of the club have testified to it. He's still smuggling. Okay, he's not smug anymore. There's no question. The accused, Barack Van Zeeks, was present. That would be very significant testimony then. Oh my. But... Lord Van Zeeks has made no mention of this. At all. In short, Lord Van Zeeks had ample opportunity to murder the victim. Very well then. Counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination. Shall be easy. Hi, Asogi. He's so grumpy looking at that cut-in. I mean, it makes sense. Okay. We might have to press on all of this kind of stuff. Alright. So, you followed orders, do you, Gina? Nah, not me. I'm above all that, see? Oh. The boss always had special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips, or go and give Toby his grub. That kind of thing. So, errands, more than orders, then. This detective is still an apprentice, after all. Yeah, well, this apprentice ain't one to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigations into what happened. I didn't find much at first. Okay. Then she found the notebook. So you went through Inspector Gregson's things? Yep. As part of the independent Lestrade investigation. I'm sure your superiors would be delighted that you're taking the initiative. So I snuck into his office when no one else was about. Because if anyone at the yard had seen me going in there, they'd have turfed me straight out on the street. This is sounding less and less like an investigation, and more like something else. The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook. Got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and her trusty assistant, Inspector Toby. We found it hidden in one of his desk drawers that had a false bottom. That's impressive. So I went to hide myself where no one could find me so I could have a butcher out what was written in it. Because if anyone at the yard had found me out, they'd have turfed me straight on the street. Oh. I've given it in now, though, ain't I? And if it weren't for me, we would never have been found. Okay, and this is smuggling goods. Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place? Yep. It was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember. As already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at a gentleman's club. Yes, I remember, but I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary. What? It was conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings. I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's all right here. All I've got to do is read it out loud. And I could too. I've got this reading game buttoned up now. Can't I show you what I can do? Go on, what's the harm? The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. What should I do? I guess. Sure, what? This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. As I explain, there's some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Strongheart didn't like that. We're probably doing the right thing then. Kazuma. There's no question that the Inspector Gregson was looking into the black market dealings. However, it has not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Just staring there ominously. Right then. I get to show off me reading skills. Apparently, the smuggled goods deal was going to happen at a gentleman's club called the Grouse. Wait. Okay, I also just realized I haven't checked a couple of the evidence. Like, I haven't gone through this. Hold on. Let me go look at the things that we have. I'm just like, wait a second. I'm thinking about evidence because I'm like, oh, we got a dialogue upgrade. Is there anything I'm going to be able to show? Then I'm like, wait. I haven't looked at some of the things. Okay, like this. Have you seen this huge gash across the side of the trunk here? It's gone right through the leather and into the metal behind. Gosh, for a metal chest like this to have been so badly damaged. Whoever made the gash must have struck the side of the trunk with considerable force. I wonder how it happened. It looks like... Oh, maybe I have to... Can I open it? Oh, can it be open? Let's have a look inside. Pop. Oh. Yeah, there's a thing. Okay, yeah, okay, I did click on the right thing. I'm like, did I click on the right thing? Yes, I did. Do you see that? There's something stuck in the side of the trunk there. It's glinting. It looks like a fragment of metal of some sort. But it's wedged in so tightly, I can't remove it. Well, don't cut yourself. You better leave it, I think. There's something in there. Something on the top of this. Whee! Oh gosh, there's blood. I just wanted to have a bit of fun, and there's like blood. I'm like, oh, probably should check that. Look at this dark stain here. Do you think? Yes, I'm afraid so. I think it's blood. I knew you were going to say that. That presumably means that this was present at the scene when Inspector Gregson was killed. It's the most logical conclusion, yes. You think that Gina's been carrying this around with her? If you didn't know any better, I suppose it does look like a grease stain from all the fish and chips. Okay. Anything else on the outside? I don't think so. What is this on the inside? The letter with some sort of insignia on it. Look, there's something inside. Oh, let's see. It appears to be a passport, authorizing him to travel overseas. Inspector Gregson about to go on a trip abroad then. You know he was going to Paris, Ryunosuke. Perhaps the date of departure might tell us something. That was... Oh. What is it? It was for travel on the 31st October. Just one day before the incident. What? Really? Okay. Gregson went to France the day before his body was discovered. Meaning that it's... Oh, that is a tiny book. Huh. And now that's a bit of evidence. Oop. Okay. Remove my big head. Name Tobias Gregson. Passport number ACD. I wonder if it's a reference to something. Anyway, ACD 0522. Date of departure within 1 week from 31st October. Destination Port of Dunkirk. Dunkirk? Yeah, France. Purpose of travel, police business. Notes, permission for the application and one additional person to travel. Oh, for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Applicant. Okay. I'm capable of reading. Okay, so we have Clint's autopsy report. That's... I don't think it changed. Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait, this is Clint's. Right, this is from 10 years ago. Right. Barack's brother. At 31st May, 9 p.m. and midnight. Nationality British. He's 33. He would have been 43? Thereabouts? But he died. So flippant about that. Is there anything else? Death from a stab wound to the heart. Other superficial external wounds indicative of a duel. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no document and corresponding ink was found. Okay. So there's a missing document written in red ink. Yes, scarlet ink. Okay, right. We haven't read this. Autopsy findings. Vital evidence recovered from the victim's stomach during autopsy. Credit to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy procedure. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body. John H. Wilson. Huh. So they found something in this man's stomach, and he has no internal injuries. He just has external injuries. Well, stab wounds, I would say, get internal, but I imagine that's not what they're meaning. There's like no wounds from the inside out, I guess, or something like that. Shrug. Alright. Oh yeah, and we got this. I don't think we need it yet, but it is cute, and I'm gonna show it off. Okay, and then we just... Okay, the passport. Passport document that was Inspector Gregson's... Oh, that was in Inspector Gregson's possession. It was issued for travel to France the day before his body was discovered. AKA the day he died. In all likelihood. Okay, we did read this. There's only that page. Okay, I think we're caught up on the evidence now. For now. Apparently the smuggled goods was... What happened to the gentleman's gun? Hold on. I have a feeling that was mentioned with this. What's the name of the ship? Blackbird Line. Okay. Scooch you over. Oh, it looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. The SS Grouse. First class cabin 001. Yokohama departure 11th September. London arrival 1st November. Ah, that's the boat that the Professor Mikotoba and Judge Goku came from Japan, isn't it? Came on from Japan. Yes, I think it's called at Dunkirk on the north coast of France for a night before arriving in Dover. Wait. I think it's been almost a year since we arrived in Dover and this is Buria. It seems a shame not to keep your ticket as a memento of your trip, don't you think? Yes, I agree. I have mine safely in my diary. And I keep mine in my wallet, so I have it with me at all times. Oh, well, how strange. Where could it have gone? Are you like this on purpose, Mr. Naruhodo? Did I imagine it? Or was that comment accompanied by a little sigh? I think it wasn't. Oh, locate. It's a ship. It's not a. Is that what it's getting at? Well, okay. You know, I'm gonna try. I'll give it a shot. Just first save. I have a feeling the do-over kind of stuff is going to be rather lengthy, given that we have Kazuma and Strongheart here, and they're probably just going to make you feel like an idiot before they actually give you the penalty. Okay, this?
Objection!
Oh, the music cut out. I'm on to something. I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they're places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. Seriously, is your mirror cracked or something? We know for sure that the contraband dealings were definitely happening at a club called the Grouse. The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definitive yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that? I mean, the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on 31st October may not have been a gentleman's club at all. You're showing a very irrelevant attitude towards our country's police force here, Counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it? A steamship. You think it's a ship. It's so quiet. I'm sorry. It's just stupidly quiet right now. Okay, there's music. I have the evidence to prove it here. Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. The other side, my lord. Be more specific next time. We just made a fool of him. Blame for us. Is this overture to pursuit? I think it might be. This would appear to be a ticket for passage upon a steamship. Yes. The SS Grouse.
Objection!
Hi, Yosogi. So there's a steamship named the Grouse. It happens to share a name with the club. But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there. How? Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port. The ship arrived at Port of Dover on 1st November. The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, 31st October, when the victim was on his clandestine mission. The ship hadn't yet docked on British shores. That would certainly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging. The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on the day in question. Then show your evidence for that assertion. Very well. Eat it. In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence to the court now. Evidence that substantiates your claim that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on the 31st October. It's the passport.
Take that!
Pretty sure. I don't know what else it could be. What's this? Passport for travel issued to the victim. Dated 31st October. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that just one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility that he wasn't even in the country. Why is Cosmo freaking out more than Strongheart? That's the funny disposition. I don't know why, but it is. Order! Order! This document is for passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized. A day before the SS Grouse arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night. According to my father, who was on board at the port of Dunkirk. Dunkirk, France. Who could possibly have taken the victim there? Cosmo, you want to share with the class? And he's laughing. I'm impressed, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport. What? You mean you knew about this? The prosecution's strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations, and the line the prosecution has been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. I think the prosecution's office is trying to hide something. What? And now that you've expertly proven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe that's something to be. What are you playing at, Prosecutor Asogi? A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts without exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper. The Reaper? Everyone's gonna kerfuffle. Oh gosh, hi. What on earth are you saying, Counsel? The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that. What? Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper. So, you're saying the mission he was undertaking was, obviously, an assassination. Barak Van Zeeks never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast-iron alibi. Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice. And you claim that it was Inspector Gregson. Well, what the hell do you think you're saying, eh? My boss would never have done nothing like that. And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense. No, it can't be. We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper. Even so, there's no way that the person giving him his orders is Lord Van Zeeks. No, the true Reaper is someone else. Somebody else. Barak Van Zeeks is not the Reaper. Oh, wait. Predictable? Oh, predictable. Oh, okay. A predictable response from someone who's advocating for the man. And even if it's true, that Inspector Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went aboard the SS Grouse on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all. Oh, you have some solid reason for doubting the assertion, do you, Counsel? Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard that steamship. As Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku were on the very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. It's so funny. You're right, of course. No suspicious deaths were reported on board the ship. But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. What? Gregson did board the SS Grouse that night, with the intention of dispatching his mark. But his mission ended in failure. Failure? It seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail? Inspector Gino Lestrade. What? The victim's notebook that you read an excerpt from earlier. It doesn't contain details of secret investigations at all. It describes 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey. You're lying! Even if all them bluggers what got taken out had it coming, the boss weren't the Reaper. Poor Gina. There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. He may just be an apprentice, but if you've spent any time at Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumors. I ain't heard nothing, and I don't believe a word of it. Then testify again. As a representative of Scotland Yard, consider it your chance to defend your boss. I don't... I concur. The witness will give new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook. Poor Gina. No one's having a fun time in this trial. The Reaper's notebook. Yeah, this notebook does have a load of stuff about what the Reaper got up to these past 10 years. Names of victims, dates and places and stuff. The last entry there was 31st October. It said, Rouse, the place on that date, and then the name of the mark. There was a note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. But honest, Boss didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reaper, that's all. Poor Gina. Keep personal opinion out of your testimony, witness. We require only established fact here. Poor Gina. This must be so hard for her. Can't deny it now, surely. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Why are you using this full name all the time? What can't I deny? The notebook contained the names of the final mark, and the location where the assassination would take place. That's information that the victim could only have known if he was working with the Reaper. Ah! So... so... who was to be this final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the grouse on 31st October. Eh? Oh, how do you read this then? Reading's still not their strong suit. That ain't the problem, right? Alright, Odo? It's a funny name. It ain't English. It's hard to read. So it's someone from overseas. Let me have a bash at it. Shihiro? Is it? Yeah, Shishiro. Jioku, maybe? What? It can't be. Shishiro Jigoku. But that's just Jigoku. Shishiro Jigoku. Certainly not an English name. You're right.
Objection!
Why are you... That can't be right. I know Judge Jigoku, and I saw him the day before yesterday, here in London. So I know for a fact the man hasn't been assassinated. As I said, the Reaper failed. Oh. Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and returned to British shores. The Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector. Personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Barack Van Zeeks. It's an undeniably logical argument. Kazuma, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it!
That was Van Zeeks. Hi. Oh, hi, Leggy. Foot. Okay. This man shows up with a goblet of wine and just slams his foot on the witness. Oh, Barack Van Zeeks, seriously. He's so silly. He's like the most serious, no-nonsense person in this game. But he makes me laugh so damn much. It's because of the this gestures vaguely at. Why are you like this, man? Okay. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollow chalice, whilst I stand accused of murder. Are you gonna say anything about the boot? Lord Van Zeeks. The accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. You will return to the dock. Say nothing of whether or not I'm the Reaper. That's the task of this court to decide. There is one thing I can say unequivocally. That girl is no detective. Eh? What? No, that's right, I ain't. I'm an inspector. Repeating rumors heard around the yard. Reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. It's not testimony. It's practically a script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you've clearly planned. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I am the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. Grill him! You're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself. You're attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony. What did you say? Mr. Naruhodo, this is our chance. My lord, the defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information relating to the testimony just given by the witness. I will kick you. I don't like Strongheart. Very well. I'll make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. Allow me to toast the court's impartiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the defense. Begin the cross-examination immediately. Oh, hi. At once, my lord. What is he? What is it? Okay, we're actually getting into the win. The Reaper's notebook. Yeah. Oh. Wait. Does Barack? Okay, no, she doesn't say... Okay, he's not saying anything. A note about him being a criminal godly Reaper 14 years ago or something. I'm... Wait. Do I press again on everything? I mean, clearly Lord Van Zeeks can't speak unless I get Gina to speaking, but I'm like, what do I press exactly? Okay, I guess I'll go from here?
Hold it!
And you're saying that the mark listed was Shishiro Jigoku? That's what it said. Funny name, if you ask me. And I thought your name was odd. So pleased to have lost my crown there. Mr. Jigoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judiciary, whatever. I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago. Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart. That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say. So, Lord Strongheart was Judge Jigoku's mentor. If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now. 10 years ago? After that fateful case? Precisely. The aftermath of the Professor case. His reparation was organized immediately. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook. I didn't think it was possible, but the mood in here has got even worse now. Maybe I'll just keep talking. Never change, Gina! Okay. So it might be these two things. Okay.
Hold it!
What do you mean a criminal? Judge Jigoku is no criminal. Well, don't ask me. I don't know nothing about it. Oh, do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Jigoku once appeared in court here in Britain. It was related to the professor case, I'm sure. Yes, of course, you're right. Shiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and actually managed to break the witness stand. He also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire, for which he was charged. Pitiful situation, yes. I'd forgotten all about it. I prosecuted that trial too. It happens. You did? It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor proceedings, you see. But he was acquitted of being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand. And there you have it. Of what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. What? No! Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Jigoku was targeted for assassination? The man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. I'm sorry, I keep pausing for a second because I keep thinking of what's going to happen. I won't say it is, but I kind of want to smack Kazuma. But that's nothing new. I kind of want to smack Kazuma. Anyway, I just needed to have that in my system so I could focus a little better now that that's out of the way. Moving on. Oh wait, no, I should... Oop. Shoot. Shoot. I'm being so bad at this. Thankfully, pull this up. Okay. The man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. Come on, that's absurd. To take somebody's life for that. Isn't that the whole premise of the Reaper absurd? Killing those who have been found innocent. Clearly, the rules by which the man operates are beyond a sane person's comprehension. What? Okay, moving on. Okay.
Hold it!
What's this? We're back to testimony. That was just a rather cold stop. So, you have complete faith that Inspector Gregson is innocent in all of this? Of course I do. I mean, I owe him that, don't I? Because he's the only one what had faith in me. Gina. The boss promised me he did. He promised me that even though I was just a diver, he could turn me into a top-notch detective. A cove with a good heart like that ain't gonna rob people of the futures, is he? No response. Oh, there he goes. Every single person killed by the Reaper was a criminal of the first order. Lowlifes like that have... Lowlifes like that have no compunction about robbing hundreds of others of their futures. Their ludicious acquittals in court give them the freedom to make hundreds more suffer. I don't... So what? You justified your actions here because you were protecting innocent people's futures. Not suggesting that the Reaper's methods are justified at all. Her life isn't black and white. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Wraparound dialogue. So that's what we have to work with. It may help us that Lord Van Zeeks is in the stand too. Yes, perhaps. I'm sure Gina knows nothing she hasn't already told us. There's no point in trying to get more out of her. Did you notice how Kazuma-sama reacted to Lord Van Zeeks' words? When he called him an even more sinister Reaper, you mean? Well, I'm sure Kazuma intends to eliminate any shred of doubt that the man is guilty. Oop. Wait, did I read that right? Well, I'm sure Kazuma intends to eliminate any shred of doubt the man is guilty. Okay. He's looking for revenge against the person he considers to be his father's killer, after all. I do wonder if we fail to find a discrepancy in this testimony somewhere. The trial may end, and education won't go in our favor. Let's listen carefully again to what everyone is saying. Okay.
Hold it!
Keep pressing. In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper. Not you and all. That ain't the only explanation, is it? He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret, and notebooks said what he found out. If I may. When originally people began referring to me as a Reaper, I didn't object. Van Zeeks' voice makes me want to yawn. Believe the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes. Those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper. One arm? What are you on about? The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's simply no way one person could have taken them on alone. The Reaper isn't an organization. With you at its head. I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements. Let me know when he was elsewhere. So I'd been able to check the most recent entry in his book. I knew the location. You knew it said grouse. Leaving it to be referenced the Gentleman's Club. I went there on the day in question to investigate. Alone. Ah, so that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen you there. Of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time, he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's mental trunk. Very well then. Back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook. Fine. Something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo. You seemed a little shocked by something a moment ago. By the mention of Sogi mentioning the metal chest. Oh, no. It's alright. We're thinking this, aren't I? Maybe. Maybe not. Okay. Let's repress this. Names of the victims, dates, places, and stuff. What in particular? Well, besides the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up. What other name was that? It's the one I told you yesterday. The same name, written over and over again. You mean... Asashin? Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or something, isn't she? Were you even listening yesterday? Asashin. The assassin. What? Like, a killer, you mean? Gregson was the tactician. The one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when they would be vulnerable and who to use to get at them. The person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does not indeed start... then the Reaper does indeed to start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes. Vigilantes. Ah, then perhaps what it said on the passport document. Permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. But that additional person have been... clearly the assassin, who was meant to take Shishiro Jigoku's life. Gina, can you confirm that? Against the final entry that listed Grouse and Shishiro Jigoku, what name was written? Oh, well, that's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it, as it happens. What? It just had, like, a question mark or something there, I think. In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case. But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not? Oh, how infuriating. A nameless assassin. Oh, jeez. Right, I've had just about enough of this. Gina. All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people. It's cobblers. Come on, Odo. Yes? Why ain't you saying nothing? Why ain't you yelling out objection or something? What? You've got to find a flaw. You usually do. You do usually. Something lying here, no doubt. Question. You gotta work out who it is. Please. For the boss. Poor Gina. Can we give this girl a hug? That outburst was an insult to the courts and to your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make a detective. Screw you. When this trial is over, you will forfeit your warrant card, Miss Lestrade. Is that clear? I've had it with a lot of ya. It's lies in every bleeding place you look in the world, isn't it? Well, I've had enough. Gina. So have I. The little speech of Gina's. I've made up my mind. To do what, Mr. Naruhodo? There was one point in this cross-examination where something that was said just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd. Oh, do you mean? I'm not going to let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears. Oh, hello, Farouk. Welcome, welcome. Come on, Oda, help. You gotta find a flaw somewhere. How do I do that? I'm saving it. I'm saving it. Okay, there's a note about him being a criminal god ways and years ago. It was the metal, it was when Kazuma mentioned how the passport was found in the metal trunk. Do I just put that, do I just present that? Oh, okay, you know what, I'll just try it. Instead of questioning, let's just try it. I did just save. I don't need to save again. I'll load it from the save. This button.
Objection!
I'm not... Yeah, no. Okay. Okay, you don't just do that. Alright. I didn't think that would work. I wasn't... There's... Sneeze! Okay. That was the weirdest sneeze I've ever did. I said sneeze while I sneezed! I'm sorry, that was funny. Okay, I'll get a drink of water. water, I guess, while I've interrupted the proceedings. By saying sneeze while sneezing. Never done that before in my life. Okay, then. It didn't even sound like a sneeze. Oh gosh, I should take clips of things again. Maybe. Maybe I'll just take a few clips just to make one of those little clip videos just to put on, I don't know, homepage. It's called a homepage. On the homepage of YouTube or something. Anyway, okay, it was this one. Yeah, okay. We have just press, I guess. Names of the victims, dates, places, and stuff. Okay, yeah. Kept popping up. Other name. Yeah, the assassin. The assassin. That makes more sense. It's not just assassin, it's the assassin. That's what her name is a pun off. Gotta appreciate Ace Attorney pun names. Even listening. Okay. The assassin. Yeah. I think it was this one. It was the last I pressed. Okay. What else you're saying? Cherry Bird is on a group of vigilantes. Oh yeah, here we go. Ah, then perhaps what it said on the passport document. Permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been? Clearly the assassin, who was meant to take Shishiro Jigoku's life. Gina, can you confirm that against the final entry that listed Grouse and... Okay, this is the thing. I just had... Yeah, it's that. Didn't have a name next to it. Price, yeah, it just had a question mark. Yeah. Yeah. Didn't know who this... Gregson didn't know who the assassin was. Okay. Name was assassin. Okay, was it not that one? Which is the one who... Where... Was it this? It wasn't one of the first ones we pressed. Maybe it was this one. Okay, let me try to find it. I'm like, I just need to find this. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Related to Professor Case. Okay, yep. Kochiba talking about how Jigoku broke the witness stand that one time 10 years ago. And Barack Van Zeeks was in charge of it. He was a prosecutor at the time. Prosecution at the time. However you're supposed to phrase that, I don't know. Yeah. So you get all smug about it. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Reaper had no time to do his work. Return to Britain. Start to see how vindictive the Reaper is. You don't know what happened. Yeah, the whole... Okay. Do we press on this, actually? I'm like, I'm not sure what the game wants me to do.
Hold it!
I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve.
Eh? What do you mean?
Amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency.
Inconsistency. What? An inconsistency? Really, Odo?
I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Yes, there's an inconsistency in something that was said by...
Where is his butt? Kazuma.
Take that!
By you, Kazuma Asogi.
Me? Is this some attempt at filibustering, Counsel?
–
– Prosecutor Asogi has given no testimony.
What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I presented the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you'll realize what you've done.
Very well then, Counsel. Go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency and something Prosecutor Osogi has said? The
Take
trunk.
that!
This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson.
A metal construction, is it? It's clearly very heavy. What's this? A bloodstain. A relatively fresh one, too. What? You mean that ain't grease from all the boss's fish and chips? She... Never changed, Gina. Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed. That can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report.
Yes, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk, hoping to sell it.
But I found it, me, with me nose for trouble.
Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, we're talking about someone who was present when the victim was killed.
This is why Ryunosuke needed to resolve. Because he did mention earlier this very stream that Kazuma is the person he trusts most in the whole world. To accuse him of being somewhere where he shouldn't have been. Also, again, I would expect Kazuma is such an idiot.
And yet, in the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma.
Because at the time, he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Wonder how much it upsets Ryunosuke to have his best friend opposed to him and tell him he's wrong. I don't know, but I think he's dead set on proof. Ryunosuke this is called a resolve of Ryunosuke for a darn good reason. There's going to be some brutal moments.
So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk?
Well, Kazuma? We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport?
Attention!
But you knew it was a metal trunk.
Answer me honestly, Kazuma.
On 31st October,
Where exactly were you? At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Grouse. Is that the answer you're looking for, Ryunosuke? Kazuma, what did you... Drama.
I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was there on the ship, then it could only have been for one purpose. Oh no, Naruhodo, surely you don't think...
Come on, Ryunosuke. You know the rules. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. Yeah, hold on. I need to go get it. Let me just scooch on over here. I don't know if it'll let me do this now or in a bit, but we'll try again. Okay, yeah, we're opening the chat. A little bit of metal. I want to see. Well, let me look at it now. Okay, no, it's still checked. Okay, we gotta wait a little bit more. Because that little piece of metal is important. Obviously. I mean, that's pretty evident. But I have to wait and see when it actually, it seems like it's going to let me wait on finding that, but I figured I'd check just to see if it already triggered that I could check it again. I'm definitely gonna have to check it again. Okay, I'll read this over. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So as it stands, you've proven nothing. Kazuma, are you challenging me to prove it beyond reasonable doubt? That you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector? He was there with Gregson. There's a clue that you've overlooked. A secret the trunk can tell us. Can't be sure at this point. I'll need to verify it. Is that the trigger? But I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to be right. Okay. The accusation being made is deeply disturbing, but nonetheless, we must test it. The defense will identify for the court where in the trunk is this alleged clue to be found. Okay, so it's gonna be first this. Okay. Strongheart's asking for where the evidence is, but I can't be bothered to move out of the way to properly read it, so we're just gonna skip over it. I mean, it's only Strongheart talking. He's not that important. At least I don't think he is. Okay, first open this up. And then I think we have to present. A little piece of metal. I just have to make sure I'm actually...
Got it!
Oh, there we go.
There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here, like a tip of a blade.
Eh? A blade?
Kazuma, slung around your waist, as ever today, is this steam blade Karuma.
Of course it is.
Won't you draw it, here in this courtroom, for all to see?
Ryunosuke is not messing around. Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer. Bailiff, watch Prosecutor Asogi like a hawk. That won't be necessary. It's broken. Karuma's broken. Oh no!
The tip is broken. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with the Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed, Kazuma Asogi?
Expertly done, Ryunosuke. That's a point to you, and well deserved. You mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asogi? Yes. On 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission.
So, the additional person authorized to travel
was me. And the mission was... the assassination of the Mark. What? What?
You mean, you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Shigoku?
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I've killed no one. Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk, but never had any intention of carrying out the plan.
You were never going to do it.
We can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Judge Shigoku arrived safely in London the following day. On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. Then we boarded the SS Grouse and made for the cabin deck, as indicated in the plan.
He went to Judge Jigoku's cabin.
Exactly.
He wasn't there, though. We decided to wait, but you've already told us you had no intention of going through with it anyway.
I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life.
So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship.
I spent that night at a boarding house in the town, and returned to England the following morning.
A boarding house in Dunkirk.
My signature will be in the register book. It would be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Jigoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in that room on Fresno Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger and end his wretched agent's life. Still on about Van Zieks, aren't we? That's a real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder.
Objection!
Thanks, Van Zieks. You did nothing as you claim. How did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the inspector's trunk? Things get a little heated there, Kazuma. I don't need to answer that. The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on that matter. I wonder if he would have answered differently if Ryunosuke had asked. Be that as it may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence. Give. As you wish, my lord. Great Sword Karuma. The illustrious blade passed down through generations of the Sogi clan. The prized sword's tip has a small piece missing. Okay. I don't care if it's Strongheart. I'm gonna look at the sword because it's cool. Wait, when did the Hachimachi come back on this thing? Kazuma didn't have it on the sword. Did Ryunosuke get this in evidence and immediately tie it back on or something? Where did this come from? Hold on, let's look at it. It's a cool sword. I mean, even the sheath is cool. I know, again, why is the Hachimachi on it? I wish there was a zoom in button. Hold on, I need to get something out of my face. You guys can't see it. Yeah, if we click on the handle. No, you can't click on the handle. Wait, you can't click on the handle at all? You can just click on the sheath. Okay, what do they say?
Karuma, the great blade. It's such a thing of beauty. I want to gaze on it for hours.
Oh, he unsheathed it. Okay, the tip's broken.
The tip of the great sword. Broken. It's such a shame. It's been so meticulously cared for over the years. I can almost hear Karuma's sobs. Kazuma must have really taken a swing for that to have happened.
He was seriously ticked off. We have a sword now. This is one of the... all the evidence we have. We have a sword. We got all this paper. We got trunks. Like, oops. Storage trunks. We got a revolver. We got a hairpiece. We got this picture of a lady. Photos. We got a candle out. Lava room. This is such an eclectic mix of things, I swear. Whole notice board. Firecrackers. I mean, seriously, if you just listed out, like, there's papers, the last will and testament of a person, like, even kept it vague, and just listed out all these items, I am sure there are some people who'll be like, what is going on with this case? Absolutely, what is going on with this case? And they'd be just completely befuddled. It's such a weird mix of items. It's like, how does this relate to anything? It's like, play the game and find out! Now I kind of want to do that. Not that I have any idea where I would post it. It's a bit lengthy for some things, but anyway. Okay, what is Strongheart saying? Unfortunately, we gotta listen to the man. We must take immediate action now to verify whether Sashiro Jigoku remains unharmed.
What? It remains unharmed?
I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday.
How did you...
When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise.
You don't mean to say that you think Judge Jigoku may have been killed?
The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal, and he has the power and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Van Zeeks? I'm sorry, Van Zeeks' body language is like, you are an idiot. Oh, should I do that in Van Zeeks' voice? It's just Van Zeeks on the inside. It's just like, Kazuma, you are an idiot. Like that. Okay, for what he's actually saying though. If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you. Oh my gosh, quit banging that around. It's bloody loud. He's asking for order. I'm just, what that be? I cannot do like a big commanding order kind of voice because I'm like, I'm already doing my biggest commanding voice I can with Strongheart. I can't do more. Come on, man. We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. No. Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst.
Oh no, not Judge Jigoku.
No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who'd only just arrived in the country. Except, that is, for the Reaper, wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through the net 10 years ago. I would have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense's sake.
My lord.
I sincerely hope we are successful. If we're unable to confirm Mr. Jigoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, we will face grave difficulties. Ah. Court is adjourned for 30 minutes. Is this gonna be a to be continue or we're gonna get a bit more? Nope. Oh. Okay.
Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare.
Oh, don't worry, it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets a lot better. Okay.
I can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to Judge Jigoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control. I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. A strange sensation that we were careening towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options. Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last ear. Of course! The little Mr. Schlum's doll that Iris gave us. For some reason, you completely ran out of options in the trial today. Then just pull on this little Hurley's ears as hard as you can possibly can. Perhaps now is the time. What should I do? Pull Harley's ears or not?
I have no idea if this is important or not. I'm saving it. I don't remember how this goes. I would think? We'll see, I guess.
Here it goes then. I'm going to do it. Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo. No looking back.
Heave! Ow!
That scream sounded like Mr. Shlom's.
Mr. Shlums? Where are you? Here, my dear fellow, here! It's the felt doll talking.
Hold the ears again, Mr. Naruhodo. As hard as you can. Alright then. I'll put all my strength into it.
Heave! Ow! Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off.
Mr. Shlums, where are you?
Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin area of the SS Grouse.
The SS Grouse?
She left over last night, after the final pieces of cargo were loaded. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway in half an hour.
You've taken a ship to France?
Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port, in order to board this vessel in time.
So, you mean you already worked it out? That the steamship was where everything really took place?
Mr. Naruhodo, pray, what is my name?
Sherlock Shlums, world-famous great detective.
Recited to perfection, well done. He's so pleased with himself. Now he's not.
You're a genius, Mr. Shlums. That's the only word for it.
Ow, 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 ow. Miss Susato, gentle with this genius's ear, please.
Oh my, I'm ever so sorry.
If I may, Miss Shlums. Ah, there you are, Mikotsuba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Grouse. At Scotland Yard yesterday when we examined that notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert the fact. I merely had our court-bound companions utter my name. Yes, you did, didn't you?
We've just entered a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if we're unable to present any new leads then, I'm afraid to say...
Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt that we shall have welcome news for you within half hour. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Shlums. That would be wonderful.
Until later, then.
Yes, you'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch first.
Ow, 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 ow! I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging on my ear in that mindless fashion.
Whenever the idea behind making a receiver operate in that way in the first...
Okay, I messed that up. Let's try again.
Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operate that way in the first place, Shlums?
Why the deuce would I know? It's Iris's invention, not mine. Okay, as enjoyable as this is, and as interesting as it's going to be, I think I'll wrap it up there, because otherwise we're gonna be, like, smack dab in the middle of, like, solving things and whatnot, and I'm sure it's gonna be in some such thing or whatever. So... we'll keep it here, and save it for when next we play. That is one way to lend an ear. Yes, that is indeed one way to lend an ear. But yes, we shall pick that up next stream. I should have that scheduled on Monday, though I do plan to only have one Great Ace Attorney stream next week because there are just more games I want to play and I don't want to wait because mwahaha, my channel, my content. I'm evil. But yes, we should only wait till Monday until more of the Great Ace Attorney because this week we are done with streams. This is the last stream of the week after all. I'll keep y'all posted on the schedule. I'm in the middle of making it. Yeah, fun fact, I make all my thumbnails usually today. Sometimes I get ahead of the work on Thursdays. But yeah, it's usually Thursday to Saturday I'm working on thumbnails. Well, either of those 2 days out of those 3 days, I should say. I'm a busy Leo. Busy Leo. Gotta get my claws sunk into things. But any case, we are further along the case. And Kazuma is sketchy as all get out. Yeah, it is interesting. Is Kazuma a bad guy? Have I just been faking liking this man the whole time? Oh, you could say. Obviously, people who've played this already. Which is a lot of people, I imagine. Actually, I haven't the foggiest idea how, like, many copies were sold or anything. Huh. I'm kind of curious about that now. Maybe I should look it up. But that's a later thing. Alright. Okay, for next week, just to give, since I do have an idea of what I plan to do, and it is the last stream of this week, I might as well give those who are watching right now a little heads up. So, like I said, I only plan on one of the stream of the Great Ace Attorney. So, how to put it? Right, that's going to be Monday. I want to play, I don't know exactly when, but I know the games I want to play. So, of course, I'm going to play Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, because duh, I want to play that. That is one of my, it's definitely a favorite game of mine. I don't know if I would call it in my top 10 favorites. I'd have to really think about it and go through my games, make sure I'm not forgetting something, because it's me. I will forget, because I forgot to switch my model again, and like I mentioned other stream. If I forget to switch my model for my Paper Mario streams, please just tell me. It's not hard to switch between the models, so I would appreciate that if you Macy's would be so kind. If you're like, Leo, why aren't you ghost tricking it up in Paper Mario? I'm like, I'm trying. Usually my head is so full of things I don't think of everything. But yes, yeah, that's definitely been bugging me. I keep forgetting to switch the model. I'm like, gosh dang it. I'm very disappointed in myself. But it is something we're continuing, because we are going to Glitzfield, that's right. I like this one. We're going to meet... Well, I like all the partners, but we definitely are getting another partner. And definitely, I believe this one is one of the fan favorites. At least they're up there. So, that's something to look forward to. Glitzville is really fun, honestly. Yeah, we have Glitzville, we have the train one, we have Twilight. Yeah, I think now we're getting to the part where we're getting into the more... Like, we're getting enough information in Thousand Year Door where we can start piecing things together, so it's pretty interesting. I also think we're in... Come to think of it, actually. We're part of the game where everything gets just a wee bit creepy. In some shape or form. You know, come to think of it, a lot of Paper Mario games get kind of dark when you think about it. Especially if you apply it to, like, everyone in this world is made for paper, so it's less creepy to people who are flesh and blood. But, like, if you apply that to flesh and blood, that's, like, it's very unsettling. But, any case. Yeah, they have that, and we have that to look forward to. And let's see, I have Dragon Quest Builders 2 planned as well. Again, I don't know the day. I'll have to figure that out. But we were the announcement for Dragon Quest came out, and I'm like, I want to play more Builders. Dragon Quest got mentioned, and I want to play Builders. Yeah, I do think it's pretty likely that I'll get the Dragon Quest III remake, which I do know that it said that the 1 and 2, which sounds like it's combined. They're combining together Dragon Quest 1 and 2 into like a bundle game thing remake. I don't know. Which is interesting because Dragon Quest 2 is the one Malroth is from, so it can't be thinking of Malroth, so then I wanted to play Builders because Malroth. He's definitely a favorite character of mine. And then yeah. Well, what am I missing? Oh yeah, Stardew Valley. Seriously, my brain is so muddled. Yeah, then Stardew Valley at some point. So yeah, we have Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, Stardew Valley, and then Dragon Quest Builders 2, with, of course, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is next week. So a different game for each day in stream next week. There we go. All right, so hopefully you VCs are looking forward to that. I hope you are. But for now, I gotta wrap it up here. But first, I must thank all of you, whether you be watching this live or in the VOD, as a subscriber or follower or whatever have you. I very much appreciate your time spent. And I very much, even more, have gratitude for those who leave likes and comments and who do subscribe and follow when you hadn't been before. I very much appreciate it. But I also won't ask of it if you don't want to. I would wish to earn it, or be of interest to you, you know, on a personal level to yourself. I don't want to force anyone to stay. But with that, I must bid all of you bye-bye for now, and hope to see you next stream.